So this episode is gonna be about health and muscles and building muscles and bulking and cardio and all these things. Yeah. Whoa, super duper loud it is today. With that being said, hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. I'm pretty pumped to be here again actually, because this is actually the first time in 3 days where I'm actually recording at home. I've actually had the time to record not at home, which was actually pretty fine, pretty great, because, I do not like the feeling of not uploading something or not having done something this particular day. Therefore, I do just always have to do something. It's not always that easy. It really is not, especially because there's just other people in my life besides me, and sometimes, there's going to be just some conflicts and there's going to be just some stressful times where just things get really complicated, which is something that's not so great. But as I've been already telling you in the intro, we are going ahead with Bigger, Leaner, Stronger by Michael Matthews. Yeah, I remember his name. There it actually is the summary. I don't know. I do just have a lot of performance issues today with my PC. I don't particularly know why. The thing is, it pisses me on a little bit. I do just really hope that that is going to be fine in this certain episode. This might be the only episode for today. I don't know. I do just really have to see how I'm feeling, how I'm actually willing, but basically how I'm feeling, if I'm doing well or not, in terms of actually, me getting pretty much overwhelmed by just doing way too much, which is actually a little bit fucked up, because, I'm primarily doing it because I like what I'm doing right here, and I should not really cripple myself, and I should not really do just so much that I feel bad, it's just pretty fucking dumb, to be honest. But I do just notice the echo, and I should. I do hope that it is fine like this. I guess it is a little bit better, to be honest. Even though it is just only a blanket quite in front of me, and quite also in front of the microphone as well. We are going ahead with 3 types of cardio that can help you build and retain more muscle. I believe in general the cardio is something that's very, very, very important, just because it is healthy, and it's just one of the things that everybody should be doing, besides also proper strength training, which is also something that I believe everybody should be doing. Whether you actually want to look like a bodybuilder or not, it is definitely healthy, and it is definitely important to also be somehow sure that your body is going to function even when you're 80 years old or 90 years old. I do think just because of that, it is very, very important, and also just pretty smart to do so. Still, it's gonna take some time, and still, cardio is also very important, because it is not pretty nice, if you just look like the buffest dude there is, and you can't, get 3 staircases up, just because you then are so fuckingly just, what is it called? Exhausted, right. You're then so fucking exhausted just because of this 3 fucking staircases. It's not that nice, really not that nice, but still actually something, and actually one of the things that I have to work on as well. So my cardio is really not the best. I don't do a lot of cardio besides actually riding my bike, something that I pretty much like and love. Today it's raining, so I'm not gonna ride my bike today, but I'm gonna work out today, which is great, which is something that you can always do, whether you are in a gym or not. You can always fucking do that. Whether you have some weights or not, whether you have the equipment or not, there's always a possibility to do your fucking workout, whether you do just have to certain things or not. There's always the possibility. But so there are 3 things he says where or how cardio can actually help you, which is the first one. It improves muscle recovery by increasing blood flow to the muscles, something that I did not know, and something that I maybe should even do, because I'm trying to work out now every single day. Yesterday unfortunately haven't worked out because time management, because certain things. The day before, I was working out legs for a fucking hour, and they're still just pretty sore, to be honest. Which is a little bit fucked up, because I do just, not want to feel like, 70, 80, fucking 90 years old, just because my body is so fucking sore. But yeah. And I'm actually trying to work out every single day, which means actually 5 to 6 times a week, I assume, because there should be 1 or 2 days where I'm basically recovering. I guess it would just be way too much if I wouldn't recover at least 1 or 2 days. Therefore, I just gonna have a certain split. I'm gonna have, I think, a 5 split of, actually I think it's a 3 split. I think I'm gonna work out triceps and chest, which is probably today, I guess. Then back and biceps, and then probably, legs and core and whatsoever. Even though I thought about actually having core and legs as an individual just workout, which means that I'm having 4 days of workout, and the 5th day is gonna be just something, I guess. Maybe it's gonna be full body. It definitely depends on what I was working out before this certain day. But yeah, the second one is, it improves your body metabolic response to food, helping you minimize fat storage. And the third one is, the second one is pretty nice, because you just will look way fucking more pumped and way fucking more lean just because of that. And the third one is, it keeps up your conditioning, making the transition from bulking to cutting easier on your body. Especially because I guess, or I assume, that when you're cutting, you're probably going to have way more cardio days or way more cardio hours or minutes or whatever it will be than when you're bulking. Therefore, it makes sense to also do cardio when you're bulking, or whatever you're doing, just do a little cardio, I'd say. How to improve your strength while preventing injury. Because the thing is, why he actually points out, for those that might not be so educated in the space, why he actually points out while preventing injuries. I do think that a lot of people just train strength by, lifting heavy fucking weights, which can lead to pretty severe injuries, especially if your technique is pretty shit, and especially, also when you're not warmed up, I guess warmed up actually. So when you do just make a few mistakes, I think that can be just really severe and pretty heavy injuries, damaging your body, obviously. So let's actually see what he says to actually prevent you from these certain things. The first one is, a correct warm-up introduces blood into the muscle group being trained, and it is supporting muscles while progressively acclimating them to heavy weight, but it does not fatigue the muscle, which is important because, waking out with a fatigued muscle, is not the best idea you can have. It's not the best thing you can do, I guess. So how to warm up. In your first warm-up set, you want to do 12 reps with about 50% of your heavy set weight, and then you rest for 1 minute. In your second set, you use the same weight as the first and do 10 reps, this time at a little faster pace, and then rest for 1 minute. In your third set, it is 4 reps with about 70% of your heavy weight, and it should be done at a moderate pace. Then rest again for 1 minute. The fourth set is the final warm-up set, and it is very simple. The first rep with about 90% of your heavy weight, and then rest 2 to 3 minutes before starting your next sets. Your 5th, 6th, and 7th sets are your heavy muscle building sets, which means like your regular set, which means like your regular weight, so your 100% weight or whatever it will be. The only exception to the above is the rare case of moving on to an exercise that involves muscles that would not have to be warmed up, such as doing from lat pull downs to deadlifts. Your bigger, leaner, stronger workout plan. So now there's obviously going to be a workout plan. I don't know how you can actually implement it or how much you can use from this certain workout plan, just because we are all individual. The thing is, one of the things that I do not do, but I should probably do, is changing up things and changing up, not only sets and reps and whatever, but also entire fucking exercises. If you're just doing the exact same exercise over and over and over again, not only in the workout, but also on a macro kind of scale, which means from workout to workout. If you're working out on Monday and you're also working out the same exact muscle group on Thursday, let's say, then actually having the exact same the exact same exercise with the exact same ranges, exact same weight and whatsoever, well, in the first few months and whatsoever, there's going to be just some progress, but then your body gets really used to the weight and really gets used to the exercise as well. Therefore, just changing up the exercises and changing up, well, maybe even how you do the exercises can, pretty much enforce your progress and pretty much be something good for your progress. The thing is, I think you shouldn't overdo it as well. I think you shouldn't do it like, okay, you're gonna have a different exercise every single workout you're having. But I guess actually changing it up every 2 weeks, I guess, is a pretty great rule of thumb, I would say. Even though I'm not doing it, but I've heard it, I've seen it, and it just makes sense for me. I just don't do it just because I guess I don't think about it and I forget about it, or I tend to forget it. Which is often then a thing that I kind of remember it after the workout, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not getting crippled by it. I do just realize, okay, well, the next time should maybe be one of the workouts where I should be something different or should be doing something different. Another thing that I do just want to point out is having a structure in your workout is just very, very important. Therefore, actually having a proper workout plan is very important, just because, sometimes during my fucking workout, I'm having to think about the next exercise or what I'm just willing to do as the next exercise in the exercise before, which is not that good, which is, first of all, not that good for the first exercise or the exercise that you're doing at this point in time, just because you're not so concentrated and whatsoever. And if you're then just doing something with heavy weights, then getting injured is really not that nice. On the other hand as well, you want to just switch to the other exercise as fast as possible, I guess, without wasting a lot of time just thinking about it, maybe writing something down or whatever you're doing. It should be just pretty much efficient, because I guess you shouldn't really waste such a lot of time during the sets and during the reps and whatever, so that you have a pretty efficient, pretty fast and pretty fast forward workout. So please have a structure in your workouts. Just know what exercises you're willing to do, know what exercise you're going to do, and also it is just good to see if it makes sense. If this particular workout that you somehow organized, that you have somehow created, if this makes sense, or if this just really kind of fucked up and it is just like nonsense, basically. But yeah, let's actually see what his workout plan is for, I think, the week. Yeah, it is a week. Yeah. Well, it's actually 5 days. It is 5 days. I'm pretty looking forward to that. To also maybe implement it into my routine. Maybe I'm going to do it as well, even though I'm not lifting weights, but I'm only doing calisthenics, basically. Sometimes I'm lifting weights, actually, for things like biceps when I'm at home and when I do not have any bars or something, and I do still want to work it out. But yeah, so the Bigger, Leaner, Stronger workout plan calls for 5 days of weightlifting, as much cardio as you would like to do based on your goals and what you now know, and 2 days of rest from the weights and 1 day of complete rest, and which is the no exercise whatever day or whatsoever. So there seems to be 1 day where you do just not have any weights, and there's 1 day where you're just not going to work out. I pretty much like it. The thing there is, if you're a beginner, this is definitely not something you're gonna do. You're just gonna start relatively slow, I would say, by just working out 3 times a week, 2 times a week, maybe even 1 time a week. Is even enough for some people. It also depends on the workout you're doing. If you're just working out for 2 hours, which is also nonsense, I would say. And as just Michael Matthews already said in an early episode, actually having a workout between 45 and 60 minutes, I guess he said, is totally fine and is totally okay, and you're gonna just get a pretty great pump and a pretty great workout in this period of time. You do not have to work out for 5 hours or 6 hours, even though some people would have definitely suggested to do this, but not as a beginner. If you're just a really purebred beginner, I guess, you should just start with 2 days, I guess, or 3 days, I would say. It also depends on your fitness level, obviously. But yeah, let's actually see what he says. So day 1 is chest and abs. Yeah, chest and abs. And the first exercise is the flat bench press. And then the incline bench press. So the flat bench press is a warm-up set and then 3 working sets. The incline bench press is 3 working sets. from 4 to 6 reps, as well as the other one. So the flat bench press was also 4 to 6 sets, which is enough, I would say. Then dips, chest variation weighted if possible, 3 working sets and 4 to 6 reps per set. Or 4 to 6 reps, I thought about sets, I'm sorry. 4 to 6 reps, which is relatively low, and it just really kind of suggests and really tells you, okay, it is about building muscle and not so much about endurance, because endurance is everything above 12 reps. Even though, just being really exact with the numbers, I don't think so if this is just making such a big difference. It totally makes a difference if you do just have a set of 1 rep or of 12 reps. It does make a difference. Then cable crunches, 3 sets, enough weight to allow 12 or 10 to 12 reps per set. Then captain's chair leg raise, no weight, as many as you can do, which with 3 sets, and air bicycles, no weight as well, and as many as you can do as well, for 3 sets as well. And day 2 is going to be back and calves. I have never ever seen such a combination, back and calves. Well, but why not? Why really not? And the first exercise is the barbell deadlift, and warm-up sets and then 3 working sets. Then the next one is the 1-arm dumbbell row with 3 working sets. The close grip lat pull down, again 3 working sets. And seated or standing calf raises. I would suggest the seated calf raises, because I've noticed, and I've also seen in a pretty recent video that I was actually on accident watching, that the seated ones are just better, just because when you're doing standard calf raises, the probability is that you're helping yourself with your hamstrings or with your legs in general a little bit, which is not that nice then actually for building your calves. Even though I do also have to say, you just also have to think about it as a just natural kind of way, which for me means, okay, you're not gonna just do a lot of calf raises in your natural environment when you're sitting. Which means, okay, I think it makes sense to somehow change them up a little bit and mix them, just so that you have the proper kind of tension you have on your calf, and also the proper kind of tension you have on all the other muscles that are around your calf. Because, okay, yeah, if you're standing on your toes, like when you're like standing, which is also like the standard calf raise, basically, then you're gonna need some other muscles as well, which you're then going to strengthen as well, which is very important, in my point of view at least. And the seated and or standing calf raises are as well going to be 6 sets and 10 to 12 reps, and you should use enough weight to also be able to do those 10 to 12 reps. Day 3 is going to be shoulders. Okay. With seated barbell military, there you're going to have a warm-up set and then 3 working sets. The side lateral raise, 3 working sets. Bent over rear delt raise, 3 working sets. And the barbell shrugs, 3 working sets. The fourth one, or the 4th day, is legs. And the first one is the barbell squat with, again, warm-up sets and then 3 working sets. Then leg press, 3 working sets. And Romanian deadlift, 3 working sets. Day 5 is going to be arms and abs with alternative dumbbell curls. Again, a warm-up set and then 3 working sets. And then triceps push-downs with warm-up sets and then 3 working sets. Then barbell curls as well as the other ones. The cable crunch, 3 sets. And captain's chair leg raises, again, 3 sets. Air bicycles, and then 3 sets. Well, yeah, never mind. I don't know what he's talking about there. So if there is no way for you to lift 5 days per week, Matthews recommends the following 3-day program. The first day is chest, warm-up and 9 working sets and triceps. So chest and triceps, the first one or the first day, then back and biceps, and then leg and shoulders. I'm missing out the abs there. I would definitely work out abs, just because I assume that it is often a pretty weak one for a lot of people. At least the lower labs. Well, yeah, the lower labs. The lower abs are often pretty weak. Just because, it's the same exact thing for me as well. And everywhere from, on day 2 you're also going to do, so back and biceps is going to be 9 working sets and the warm-up. the biceps going to be 6 working sets and no warm-up needed, just because you did it also for the back. And then the leg workout is going to be 9 working sets with warm-up and shoulders as well. So Matthew likes to change out an exercise or 2 from each workout every 8 to 10 weeks. Well, yeah, I was talking about 2 weeks. Do it from 8 to 10 weeks. After his deload week, he will then do that new routine for the next 8 to 10 weeks and then take a week off, change up the exercises and keep the pattern going. Matthews recommends the following exercises. Now we're going to have some exercises for all the body areas you're going to have. This is also going to be the last one for today. I guess we're going to finish up this summary today actually. But I'm going to take my time, and the thing there is, if you're doing one of these exercises and you clearly see and you clearly understand and you clearly know this as well, and that they're just doing a little harm to you, you're feeling a little pain by doing the certain exercises, you should not be doing them. You should please not be doing them, at least not in such a variation. Maybe you do just have bad technique, therefore they're just hurting you, and other kind of things and then variables that can lead to you feeling hurt or you hurting yourself while doing an exercise. Just be sure, of course, the first one, I guess, just be sure that you know the proper technique, you know how you should be doing it and whatsoever. This is very, very important in my point of view. But yeah, some people do just have some body conditions which kind of restrict them from doing certain exercises. For example, I'm not allowed to do any crunches or something because of my back. Therefore, I'm not going to do any crunches. There are so many exercises. You're still going to find this singular one exercise that's going to push your level beyond any fucking limit, or beyond your limit actually. But yeah, you're going to definitely find the right exercises, and there's definitely enough exercises. So please do not do any exercises that you feel are just harming you. Look them up. If you just notice, just do something different. Maybe in your workout, you're going to have just an alternative exercise for everyone you have. But yeah, so let's actually see back. The back exercises are going to be chest dumbbell press. Why is this for back, motherfucker? It should be for so chest dumbbell press. Okay, I think is this one. Yeah, should be flat or incline, even though no, it is not. Chest press is definitely like chest press or bench press, actually, to be honest. I don't know. I'll see. So barbell bench press, which is also not back, which is definitely not back. Again, flat or inclined. Weighted dips, back barbell deadlift pull up. Weighted if possible, 1 arm dumbbell row, T-bar row, bent over barbell row, front lat pull down, close grip pull down, seated cable row wide and close grip. Shoulders, seated barbell military press, seated barbell press, Arnold dumbbell press, dumbbell front raise, side lateral raise, bent over rear delt raise, seated rear delt raise, and barbell shrugs. Legs, barbell squat, hack squat, front squat, legs, leg press, Romanian deadlift, legs extension, leg curl, calf raise, standing or seated, leg press, calf raise. Leg press, calf raise, so both together, I assume. Bicep barbell curl, straight bar curl, EZ bar curl, dumbbell curl, or hammer curl. Tricep close grip bench press, seated triceps press, triceps push down, lying triceps extension, and weighted dip. Abs, cable crunch, captain's chair leg raise, ab bicycle, ab roller, decline crunch, hanging leg raise, flat bench laying leg raise. Supplements. No bullshit guide to supplements. Most everything you see in the world of workout supplements is utterly worthless. It totally is. Unless you are in the lucky position of being able to have whole food meals ready 4 to 6 times per day, you're going to need to use protein supplements. Yeah, it's going to make it easier. You can do it just without them, but it's going to make it easier, I assume. I'm not taking any supplements, but what I know is, first of all, BCAAs is one of the things that is pretty common people suggested to take. Then also the other one, which is actually growing your muscles, but I don't remember. And definitely like protein, like the most common one. Whey is particularly effective when eaten after training due to its rapid digestion and abundance of leucine or leucine. The three forms of whey protein sold are whey concentrate, isolate, and hydrolysate or hydrolysate. Whey concentrate is the least processed form and cheapest to manufacture, and it contains some fat and lactose. Yeah, this is actually it with this summary. I do hope that you've gotten something out of it. There was just some lag. So yeah, this is going to be the end of the episode. I do hope that you're able to get something out of it. And yeah, I wish you the best health, happiness, and success. And I also hope you're going to remind yourself on how you're going to be remembered, which means your fucking legacy. You have it in your control. We all have it in our control, even though we can't serve everyone, because not everyone's going to like us just because it is what it is. And with that being said, I see you.